Good morning. We start with Lama Tsongkhapa Guru Yoga. From the heart of the Savior of 100 deities of Tushita, on a peak of cloud resembling a clam of extremely white fresh curd, King of Dhamma, omniscient Losandrapa, please come here together with your sons. In the sky before me, on a lion throne, lotus and moon, my perfect pure Guru smiles with delight. Supreme field of merit for my mind of faith, please abide for 100 yawns to spread the teachings. Your holy mind has the intelligence that understands the full extent of objects to be known. Your holy speech with its excellent explanations is an ear ornament for those of good fortune. Your holy body is radiantly beautiful with glory renowned. To you who are meaningful to see, hear, and remember, I prostrate. Pleasing drinking water, various flowers, fragrant incenses, lice, scented waters, and so forth. Oceans of cloud-like offerings, both actually arranged and mentally emanated, I offer to you the supreme field of merit. Whatever non-virtue of body, speech, and mind, especially those opposite to the three vows that I have collected from beginningless time, I confess each and every one with fervent regret from my heart. You strove for much learning and practice in this degenerate age, and made your freedoms and richnesses meaningful by abandoning the eight worldly concerns. Savior, we sincerely rejoice in your extensive deeds. Perfect, pure, holy Gurus, from the billowing clouds of wisdom and compassion in the sky of Dharmakaya, please let fall a rain of profound and extensive Dharma upon the receptacle of those to be subdued exactly as they need. May whatever virtue I have collected benefit the teachings and all transmigratory beings, and in particular may it cause the essence of perfect pure Losandrapa's teachings to shine forever. Sajibuki Chuji Metok Tramri Rablishi Nide Gyempati Sangye Jindu Mite Uwa Hidrokunamdak Shinla Chupasho. By the merits of having offered this mandala to Lama Tsongkhapa and his two sons, may I, my family members, and all sentient beings be able to meet, practice, and actualize the teachings of the victorious one, Losandrapa, who had a morality of eminently pure way of life, was courageous in the extensive conduct of the sons of the victorious ones, and accomplished the yoga of two stages of supreme bliss and emptiness. Idam Guru Ratna Mandalakam Niryatayami. By the force of having fervently requested in this way, hollow beams of white light are emitted from the hearts of the perfect pure Father and Sons, and combining into one enter my crown. White nectar, the color of milk, flows from the opening of tube of white light, cleansing all my sicknesses, spirit harms, negative karmas, obscurations, and their imprints without exception. My body becomes as pure and clear as crystal. Now we recite 5-line Miktsema 3 times. Migme tsewe tenchen chen rezik, drime gimpe wampo jampel yang, dupo malu jonze sawedak, kanchen gepe tsungen tsongkapa, losandra pe shabla sowade. Migme tsewe tenchen chen rezik, drime gimpe wampo jampel yang, Dupo malu jonze saweda, kanchen gepe tsungen tsongkapa, losandra pe shabla sowade. Migme tsewe tenchen chen rezik, drime gempe wampo champel yang, dupo malu jonze saweda, kanchen gepe tsungen tsongkapa, losandra pe shabla sowade. And a prayer for the swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche by His Holiness the Dalai Lama. Fearless teacher and assembly of the children of the victorious ones, Shravakas and Pratyeka Buddhas, victorious Losang father and sons, along with the lineage masters, all the objects of refuge of infinite lands, please bestow the virtue and goodness of accomplishing this prayer here and now, holding and spreading the Muni's precious and complete teachings. Through explanation and practice, you wore the armor of patience that is never discouraged. Incomparable Venerable Guru, to you I make request. While striving single-pointedly for the sake of the victorious one's teachings, the sole gateway through which all benefit and happiness emerge, and for mother living beings, you suddenly departed to peace. What a great loss! Nevertheless, through the undeceiving truth of the blessings of the ocean of the three jewels and the great waves of bodhicitta of the children of the victorious ones, may the smile of a reincarnation swiftly beam in a glory for fortunate disciples.
Sangye Chedang Soje Chonum La Changche Pardu Dan Kyabsun Che Dagi Chushe Jebande Dagi Drolam Benje Sangye Drubar Sho Sangye Chedang Soje Chonum La Changche Pardu Dan Kyabsun Dagi Chushe Jebande Dagi Drolam Benje Sangye Drubar Sho Sangye Chedang Soji Chonum La Changchu Bardu Dang Kyabsun Dagi Chushi Geband Dagi Rolam Ben Sanjin Drubar Sho Kangi Tuzi Nizone Dawa Tamje Bambi Cher Tambi Chun Denze Kodam Tela Changse Lo Namo Lai Ketan Ludano Jiki Tribon Dana Mi Kenan Ro Kunji Ranam Chizam Tamji Keduda Gi Chuden Do. Good morning, everyone. Adam cut hair looks beautiful monk. Ang nama sanjibi. Ani jamba tawkila tuji chimbo dembi jamba kadinchi. Tani zambalin de la pevna lo ni tong chuk yasa chik. Ra. Zidang chik la ya lo ni tong chuk yasa chik zigores. Ra lo ni tong chuk ye kong la song shabi ge. Ani kalab ti. Ani tu tata yinba ina ya. Pe. Ani gyuwa mewa chen. Laga yorwas. Ra. Tu shu gyur yore. Mi shika shu gyur yore. Ani chi nganzu tsuwi ki netang gyuwa shu dro yore. Da ina ya. Ani sanji chom den diye kalab de la. yo tsawani ni chinyo mares.
So the great Buddha Shakyamuni, the skillful one, was appeared in our world 2,600 years ago. So generally, it is considered that the Buddha Shakyamuni was in our world 2,600 years ago. And during this time, the Buddha Shakyamuni's teachings, his advices, has remained and has been unchanging. Yeah. However, people's personalities, the world's situation, it's all changed and transformed. However, the Buddha Shakyamuni's teachings have not undergone any transformation. Lazula.
Teta lo nyitong chukji kong ya chomden degi kalab di lo nyitong chukji kong ge mitsu semkong la ya pendo chidar yoba nashi tu tada ina ya ani nanzo ta turub nyush tsakchik begi ani mi semkong la ya dili laga jik pendo mena ani dili nyonga pendo nyonga jik tsawa nini royo maris di siwu se jan res ro ngaran tsugi ta kalab di nyamsu len tuk ma tuk na soba ji yungore ma da kezi nganzu kalab di nyamsu len bayi na nganzu semkang la pemba di gyaja gyatang ba res ro.
So 2,600 years ago, the Buddha Shakyamuni gave this advice, gave his teachings in order to benefit the people of that time. But now we've reached the 21st century, but still the benefit of the Buddha Shakyamuni's teachings, it's not more and it's not less. It's very clear that it's still very beneficial for us in our current time. So it's really whether or not it depends on ourselves if we put that advice into practice or not. It depends on us. But the benefit of the Buddha's teachings is still certain that it's beneficial for us. Lazula.
Tere da teza tangan tsugi ro suzu mitse di nang lo la inanda ani kiawa chima ke lengin jin bayi na ya kiawa chima la inanda gyacha gyatamba pendo yobi gi ani karsa da ngubu chik yobati ani chomden digi labja diri res labna lab chogo res tsen dila ya gyacha gyatamba pendo yoba tse chima ke lengin jin bayi na
La. Shikla.
la kogda
La. And it's had said 거기면 또 아닌 가샤.
kogumudun gasha
팽개스러랑.
nganzu tsen dila ya sudila ya gyacha gyatamba pendo yobi ngubudi sanjigi labja diri shas tse chima ke lengin jin bayi na ya gyacha gyatamba pendo yobi ngubudi sanjigi labja diri shas ro timado nganzo ya kari yoba ina ya chik gyu chala tang chik ro nor lonchu ta kari yoba ina ya ani tsen dela ya pen to tubi ngiba yo marila kewa chimala deli kyang pen to tubi ani ngiba tsao ni yo mares kewa ro tiza nganzo tan zambi nganzo mi jing ba insa mi namju purtu chungwa ji yoba ina ngone gyacha gyatambi pen to yobi ngubudi 수수 다보 자고야 디로 수수 깔라 약슈디 수수 톱당 약슈디 디인사레스
So the Buddhist community's teachings, the Buddha's advice is something that is very beneficial for this current life, but also if we accept the existence of future lives, it is also certain that it's a benefit to our future lives. Yeah. So whatever current physical or wealth resources that we have, then the the resource of the Buddha's teachings is something that is much more beneficial in terms of this life and in terms of our future lives. So in particular, as a human being, we have this particular gift of intelligence, our human intelligence. So if we make use of this human intelligence, then this is will be it would be wise to look after this object of the Buddha's advice, yeah, and this would be making the best use, the use of our our human life and our human intelligence. Lazula.
가서 나가서 통근도 와서라 가서 통 이제 뒤 아니 변나다 규자라 임바이나자 아니 지 대사 임바이나자 아니 지 적부 정모이나자 네바 쩌니면도 와서라 네바 요 말아스 드리 요나 산이 내단 간르스 규주고 요메 수직 랍토고 말아서라 아니 걔랑 우강나라야 밀린직 여바이나야 걔랑기 내단도 요르는 디 가르펜토 그래서 아니 지 적부 쇼지를 투빈스 라바이나야 게제 측직이 요르고 여러스 라 적부 약부이나야 게제 셋단 지기 서로 만들 지기 자차로 여러스 딘자 아니 네바자오니 요 말레스 아니 네바자오니 메사들이야 쇼지기베 착신 제바이나 아니 수수래야 동아 용약이 유지 차그레 마도 아니 팬도 자오니 요 말레스 라
So we can see in our daily lives that our physical possessions and the places that we stay and abide in, and even our friends, are something that actually don't stay very long. Yeah. So nobody can say that they're going to be here today or in the future. Yeah. And even if we have $1 million in the bank, then maybe the situation will be changing and that money will be lost. So you can see that ultimately what is the benefit of these unreliable things. Yeah. So on the basis of even a single word, one of your very good friends, your best friends, could actually become your enemy. Yeah. So on that base, relationships are really not stable and abiding long. So you can see, hello, hello. Yep. So you can see that even the friendships or financial situations are really very unreliable. They can change in under easy circumstances. So this can also become a cause for our own suffering and never a cause for our benefit if this situation is unreliable and changing. Lazula.
로카시지 공라레스 로카시 페실롱아 축지 공라와 니동 정어 주도 더발레스 니동 정어 주도 카블라 아니 야가기 아니 우군 요진 도레스 야가가 페샤tin 요진 도니 미츠 우냐는 나라야 아니 우냐냐네 페나 아니 밀린 망보 나라 냐딩이 저 peki jaga shungu gyo chik tang digi ani mitsu million chen meta tangi chung yores semde shoji di ro yoba digi semde su yor mato digi pen toyo maras pena ani nganzu nidong nishi tambala ya nasa di chik leon digi ani lomba kanga gochi gyadi pecha muga kari yo na chesi ke mundo asiro tiza yikden mebi ngone gi yikden mebi chala yinba di ani nganzu samudang tong tugu yores ina ya nganzu la yata ani kap kala gongko yore nganzu la go yores ro nganzu tsaw ni go mes la go yomarda yikden meba di nganzu samudang na yikden meba di siu sejan res.
So there was a time, perhaps in 2015 or 2016, that in India, the currency in India was actually debitized. Certain bills in the Indian currency was debitized and outlawed. So the purpose of this that was to see that the people that were keeping the money that was outside of the bank, then you could see in the streets that many people had cash, physical cash, but because it was debitized or deemed useless, unusable, then they were actually burning that cash in the street. So this is an example of how that keeping a lot of money can actually be a cause of worry and anxiety. But Geshe is not saying that having money is useless, that it doesn't have any benefit at all. Geshe is not saying that. But the extra stress and anxiety that is given rise to by having a lot is something that is cause for suffering, a cause of great worry. And also, when the pandemic was on, then all the shops, all the places where we could spend money were closed. Then this also generated a great sense of worry and anxiety. So you can see that having this large amount is some causes for stress and anxiety. So you can see that these situations are something that is not a trustworthy place to put our hopes in. This is very clear, Latsula.
Dindigi dugun gyodru kap tudu ngoni chomden digi labshala ya nyamnen chedengi samlo yongin so elaya sorwala gyodru yo mares kul lele chene deyach manzo ani nayam di chigle on digi mimangbu shoje pe nang de matuba pe ani arala sobo mangbu sho tongju kya dini chong yorwas chidun gagu yosir.
La, it's Gasha. Yang Surana?
Yeah.
Yang Surana? The name de lip disabla?
Nayam dilebi kabdular nidon nyushi tambala ta naza dilebi kabdular ta ani pigi dron kanga ka ani pasu tunje tsamache ka wandi ta nang de gogora ra ta ngoni chi sanji chomden digi labshal ya ani ko yongin sogi ani sosu gomgya samlo titola ta hele chin deji chong yores the siwres ra ta di mengen so ngamra mi mambu shujla ngamra shu chong yoros ani nala ta gyurumbul hawandi ani nami nyamdu tukba ma shoya ani semba kibu me chaya teni ara tsema ba tonya la soba tendi nesu mambu shu chong yoros.
So during these changeable or transformative times, then there are actually many people that took the opportunity to practice the Buddha's advice, practice the Buddha's teachings, and they were able to remain relaxed during this pandemic time. So conversely, there are many others that were very worried, anxious, and resorted to drinking and alcohol and so forth. So during the time that we were not able to go outside during lockdown, many people who followed the Buddha's advice, they took the opportunity to meditate, to reflect, and this enabled them to remain relaxed during this time. Whereas for many, it was a cause for heightened anxiety, heightened fear, because if they were at home, they were continuously fighting with their family. They were having problems staying at home. And they resorted to drinking and other situations. So you can see that this happened a lot during this time. That's all.
Terdinza nganzulaya mi namjuyori ro sherab mixage sherab kiyake nganzulaya milaya nibayo wanza ani di peju chen ro di peju chen ta yigden yoba pento yobigi ani ngobod karrendo ani di nyamsulaya di pekichin buisares ro ta yigden mejo ro yigden mejo chilaya ani mise kanza ani tel lokeni di tolen bezunjin rowana ani susulaya kangan chesig dos ro ta yigden yoyo pen ani 점den de lauja tawo ani chi ninji dang ani sherabla sobege nyamlen chi yobana di gaddu inaya ani susulaya pengdos ro kawan ro kawa denaya di ani susu kibu sogu yores yigden mebi chö digi ani nganso magiba cheyagi ani kenla drogdo asra di jimi shingo gosares.
So we have, as a human, we have this capacity of wisdom, discrimination, or intelligence, and this must be used. This must be cultivated. But what is an object that we can place our trust in? Yeah. And then having placed our trust, then we practice and implement that. But if we remain in looking and relying on objects that aren't trustworthy, then we're going to be meeting with continuous difficulties and problems. Yeah. So the Buddha Shakyamuni's teachings, they are mainly about compassion and wisdom, and we can put those teachings into practice, regardless if we are staying or if we're going about our activities. They're going be of usefulness to us to cultivate our mental happiness. So this is something that we must utilize. That's all.
nganso tajia testes ngagdo
네.
네.
거기도
야 봤어
한
다드니 좀든 디기로 좀든 nganso labja kharja waris laondi thoma delaya ani duje thamje matagba sagje thamje dunghawa chö thamje tongshen damewa nyangal deba dishiwares dal labja dodo di jagdo asra tangan di tolaya samlo tayandi la cause
나 거다 거서
yeah I did it
let's go.
yeah.
And so the main advice of the Buddha Shakyamuni in the beginning, he gave what is called the four seals. So the four seals goes along the lines that all phenomena are impermanent, all phenomena are contaminated, and all phenomena are in the nature is suffering and liberation is peace. So this is the four seals that the Buddha Shakibiri gave in the beginning. Lasula.
다들이다 뒤제 탐제 메다바 세디기 나올이야 뒤제가 나올이야 아니 간주 용수 접어 추구여레스 라 간주 용수 접어 추구여레스 뒤제 뒤제 슬라운디 규다겐 토만 뒤네 아니 트비샤비기 쳐들이야 아니 뒤제스 어딜 들어와서라 딘자 아니 나랑 참말로 아니 규다겐을 때네 트바인자 gyuda kyenla tenne chuba inza gyuwi rangshin chenchi res. Kaddu yina takba tenpo denya chiki nisul chiki yoma res.
So the first of the four seals is that all phenomena, in this case, all compounded phenomena, are in the nature of impermanence. Yeah. So all phenomena, all things in existence can be summarized into this compounded phenomena. Yeah. And they're compounded in terms that they are existing due to causes and conditions. Yeah. So because everything is established due to causes and conditions, they are therefore undergoing a sense of change, sense of impermanence, and they are never abiding even for a moment. Lasula.
Tadi keche shu insa res. Nga zo mese nanglo ya ani dushi gi chö di gyuwi rangshin chenchi yinba takba tenpo degi meba di suzu gi tenbi yula ya nyago ya di ta nga zo dewa döngen tang dunga mendöngen shila ya 하장기 계정부 자료가 살아있어.
So you can see that this is actually a very important point because we can keep this in mind that all phenomena are in the nature of impermanence, yeah, and they're not abiding in any stable way. So this is something that is very important for us to understand and will be very beneficial because in terms of about wanting happiness and not wanting suffering, but if we understand that their nature is in the nature of impermanence. So this is important to understand. Yes.
nganzu meze nanglo ya ji kanga sem ke se matu ya cheshu di ken kal den tegores laundi ani gyo dru kabdula nganzu sem nanglo ya se matu ya soba gong matu ya kanga di tenin tegi yor wasra da di gyu rangshin jinji ba tong tu yo ba na sem tembe nanglo ya da gyu rangshin jinji ba tong tu yo na kon gyo dru di 아니 수수 샘기 초와디 아니 잔네토야지 거기에
거기 먼저 간다. Any 수수 샘기 기와 any.
Can't hear you.
Oh, so hi, hello.
Yeah.
Hi.
Maybe if you want to turn my camera off, maybe that will help. I can do that. Is that all right?
Okay. Yeah. I'll just give me 2 minutes. I'll just try a different internet here.
Okay. So I'll just if you can hear me, I'll translate what Geshe just said. That's
Okay.
right. Or do you want me to just wait?
10 seconds.
No worries.
Okay, we'll try now.
Okay. So kila any gone any angles rana any duna di semdi masu misu.
데르다 gyodru kabdula 아니 간주 샘그 소마디고 동아치 끼기여라서 gyuwala 때니 gyuw디기 깬치 간주 샘라야 동아치 속여라서 단 gyu의 랑신 임바디 sem tembe yule yobaina kun gyue ranshin re kun gyurgre sambi loji yoban ani gyowa kanju chingbaina ya kaju songbaina ya digi semla dungar soguyo samares.
So if we have an understanding of the nature of phenomena, that it is in the nature of impermanence and undergoes change, then when we experience a situation that changes, then rather than being unable to bear that situation, we'll have an understanding that the very nature of phenomena is impermanent and is naturally changing. So this will give rise to a much better and deeper understanding of the situation and will not lead to further mental suffering. Lazula. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Lo
No. Can you get Selena?
chög na so la kogde
거기도
chög na lo song di anzu semgun dushi yakshu di medagban dushi bin dushi deres di yakshu deres la dushi kecheshu deres kansan medagban dushi bin dushi ji yobana ani kaddugi na susu sem tembu detugech semla pendo yobachi yunguyaza nanzu takban zinsona takba tembuchi 라 딱바 템보지 예 sambay나 아니 피기딘 딱바 템보 유 코란 딱바 템보 요 말이 딘 교론디 데니스 샘라야 남다다 마기비 로디 융구여러 왔으라 딘자 메다번 뒤시빈 뒤시디 개치슈 인송야데 오늘 거바 캐버젠지 여사리스.
So from a Buddhist perspective, this mind that comprehends this presentation of the changeable nature of phenomena is really something that is very important to cultivate here. So, and that way, when we do see the situations changing, then our own mind will be able to remain stable and relaxed here. Whereas if we think that the situation or phenomena is going to remain permanently unchanging, then when they do undergo a change and that situation undergoes a change, then we will experience a lot of mental anxiety and stress. Yeah. So this is why this thought, this understanding of the impermanent nature of things and situations, it's really something that is very useful.
디레 디레 드는 이바들야다 삭제 탐제 둥하와레스 라운디 삭제 탐제 둥하와레스 라운디 다 뉴무비 온기 총위 아니 추 간다지나야 둥하르그란셰레스 라 뉴무비 온기 총위 추 셴바파자니 뉴무비 온기 총위 아니 소수고 풍부디인 바야나야 둥하르그란셰레스 좀 된디 디송도스라.
So the second, can you hear me okay? The second of the thought cells is that all contaminated phenomena are in the nature of suffering. Yeah. So this is due to the afflictive emotions. Yeah. That all phenomena, are due to our being contaminated beings, due to our afflictive emotions, then the experience of those phenomena is going to be in the suffering nature. So the Buddha said like this.
단 삭지 삭바 아니 삭바 뉴무라고 그랬어. 뉴무 대야 카르레스 라운디 뉴무 비게 다당 다도 트반진비 로 다도 트반진비 좀바 디 참비 랑제반진비 진진지 로저라서 젠 야와 토르 ranche banzin bi chinzing lo jor da di wang gi chongwi ani chös lamna digosar di dungares ro dungares
Daktu zimbe zimba ani dakhadak labore.
dadu banzin bin zimba di gi wang gi ranchinzing lo seng legores
And
ranchinzing lo yotsawi chela 아니 yen yawa towa dan ran cheban zimbi chinzing loyo sawe chela ani kaddu yina dungarji yungu yosares tamadi waj
so when we speak in terms of the contaminated phenomena, that is, this is due to the arousal of one's afflictive emotions, dystopia emotions. And those afflictive emotions are something that are dependent on our self-grasping attitude. Yeah. So when somebody has a comprehension of this self-grasping attitude, then the phenomena that is produced is something that is afflicted and therefore contaminated.
가슴 당간주 배시 콘주 쇼기 딱번 댕구여라서 간주 라만 쳐번 댕구여라서 라만 쳐비 나로 송여다 랑이 진진 고복군 주고 디 측디케란 신규 얘기를 해 랑이 진진 고복군 주고 만의 진진 연den군 기시 디셔 다신 집에 nen저라 냠는 냠버 쳐버 신기라 세디다 nen가 탈두거디 로 아니 추 르당게 nen가 탈두거디다 데니 송연 거여레스
So every morning, regularly, we recite the Lama Japa or the Guru Puja prayer. Yeah. And in this prayer, there's a specific verse that refers to the door of all suffering. Yeah. Goes along the lines of the door of all suffering is this self-grasping attitude. And please bless me to realize its opposite. So this is the ultimate point, that there is this self-grasping attitude.
이러다 로 비기기 란친진디 슈치온디 란친진디 슈치온디 깨자 가르코나야 소설 뇌대교로지 라 미파쇼마 게모지 쇼바이나 아니 간찰리 갸도 삼성로지 아 ngal 비기 미티기 자메나야 칸구바이나 피시 ngal지 라고여서리 삼성로 딘디 베 남도다 마키바 짱짱치 용구여레스로 소수 진진 슈치잖아 딜레기여레스
So this self-grasping attitude that one may have is something that is giving a rise to a lot of suspicion and doubt in others. Yeah, if somebody's self-grasping is really very strong, then even when they may hear somebody else speaking, then they're thinking, oh, they're talking about me. Or if they hear somebody laugh, then they're laughing at me or about me. So really, if somebody has this very strong self-grasping, then there's a very strong sense of suspicion and doubt. In others.
We got up to suspicion and doubt.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah.
We got up to
suspicion and doubt.
Yeah.
So yes. So due to this strong sense of self-grasping, then regardless of what people are saying, yeah, then you think it's going to be about you and something that is negative towards you.
Pena ranjinze shukchi tawandi sosula tukbayna lamsang ani kongro sayachi. Mijik sosula tukbayna lamsang kongro sayachi. Ani tenda chiye mebayna ya pena ani chik karsa warda kyaran injibu munduroji labayna shuji kongro sayatini yungu yorwasarwa. Digi kepa sogo marasarwa. Mi pasho magi kyaran yabu mundus labayna diga rangi kyaran yabu meba chagi yo marwas. Ina kyaran kongro sadro warasarwa. Tenganzo kongro sadro warada. Mijigi geshidida yabu mundus labayna nga magi wachina kongro san deya nyenga yoro. Ina ya karimugu karilabayna nga gyodrog marwas ra me phasho me keje di nga gyodrog marwas nga khari imbadi dagaranga degire mado ani kerangi nga yabu munduslana nga dugja cha drog marwas kerangi nga yabu duslana nga yar ke drog marwas ngaran kha imbadi dagaranga degire was ra ta di magiba kharjin chago warslana ran jinjin ti so bares.
So, for example, when somebody has very strong self-grasping, then even just a small situation or a small word will give rise to immediate anger in them. So this is due to their strong self-grasping. Or if somebody says to them that, oh, you're not, you're not good looking or you're not pretty, then straight away they rise to anger, or they say that, oh, you're not good at this or that, then immediately they arise to anger. So, for example, Geshe says that if somebody said, oh, that Geshe is not good, but Geshe said that he remains unchanged, uninfluenced or affected by these words. So if somebody says that Geshe is good, then he remains unaffected. If Geshe is bad, then Geshe remains unaffected. So you can see that this self-grasping attitude is actually the thing that is making us unhappy. Lazula.
ngala gangin tindi ra ngala nji ngala shaza chingi tindi ki ngala khala warsla na ra ta ngaz nangzar ta ngala khala warsna ta khana ani mi chama nyam de mi ani sagan ro khalas tindi machis mi ji khana la ya ani khushib chig mares ngal tindi lamge chonsar ra ngal tindi lamge chonsar ra ti ta mi phasho me da ngala ya shaza re de na ya nga minyamdo dro minyamdo diuche minyamdo kejache ron kibados nga phi ani tsogzo je ani pambu je ani nga geshi samson nga gechi nga jibu de dewana nga jibu lagdo asro di labja de nga khaneras gyawrmuji kadin sungors ti ngone tan dembarendo asro minyamdo nganzu miri minyamdo dro minyamdo kejache minyamdo khalasa ron kibudo dirda ani nganzu ta kharsu wata nyumung singedi rang chinzen singedi yacha gyata manganzu makiba sohyo badi siwu reshas.
Here we can see that, for example, even though Geshe is feeling very close and happy with people, but somebody mentioned to Geshe that, oh, you shouldn't go to the restaurant, you shouldn't socialize and share food and conversations at the restaurant because it could be disrespectful. You're a Geshe, yeah? So Geshe even though Geshe feels very liking to
Getting gas.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll turn my video off. Dark.
Okay.
So yeah, just we'll see. All right, so I'll start again. So Geshe, when he's responding to the person that is suggesting that Geshe shouldn't go to the restaurant and share food and socialize because it could be disrespectful. But Geshe doesn't consider himself as being more than others, or I'm special, I'm a Geshe, and just remain by himself, because he takes the lead or the example from His Holiness the Dalai Lama's advice, where His Holiness the Dalai Lama advises that it's important to be amongst other people, to share meals and to share conversations with other people. Yeah. So, but you can see that the afflictive emotions that are motivated by our self-grasping attitude, then these are really that are to blame for our situation of suffering and distress. It's very clear. That's all.
the Lagdun dependata Nando Jimbana Tangi Mizilla Nanchu Jangbare Sira Nanchu Janyore Nanchu Dian Pig the table change Nishi the table chamber which Jango Sira table chamber which Jangamita the table chamber which Jangdi Shenla Robachiadi Shenla Pig Pendoche Tiredosra table chamber which Jang with good Nimbodi and Shenla Pendoche Adreshas. 당이 태버친 비 최우도는 시안라 팬도 간다스 제고레스 라운디 당 나랑 강 시바디 밀 팔라비아디 밀라비아디 당이 팬도 체슈디 라 태버친 비 최우도는 팬도 체슈디 데리마도 아니 아니 몇 사말라 칼라테 투고 마리 페사테 투고 마리 나 네어 주 투고 마리 아 지투고 마리 당 나랑 강 시바디 메셀 강 장바디 Mila Falaviadi, Nigi, Tabachimbi Chujani, Jenlayap, and Pendo Chivi, Karzata, Pendo Chesulo, the Direshas. That the Minium the Kajashi, Minium the Gini, Milash, and the Kajashi Gormado, Mida Mandiva Che, and Tuzdena, and Nig the Kajashi Ragmaras.
So Geshe's life is being spent studying and reflecting about the great Mahayana Buddhism. Yeah. So the purpose of Mahayana Buddhism is to be of benefit to others. This is the very essence of what the Mahayana is about. So in order to benefit and help others, yeah. So how does the Mahayana Buddhism be of benefit for others? So Geshe's main purpose is to share what he has understood, what he has studied with others. Yeah. So Geshe is unable to make food for others or make give financial assistance or be a nurse or a medical assistance to others. But what Geshe can do, which is of best or most beneficial benefit, is to share the Mahayana Buddhism with you. So, and if Geshe is not among others, not in the middle of others, then it'd be very difficult for him to share that with others. Let's learn.
Teta, alhaqdundu ngalaya yichichi, ngalaya tebachi, ani ro tichedingi ta ngi getukso, ta miksegi ngigi, an kunzunyamdu tuzutang, kunzunyamdu kejeshe, ta roba chegoyadi ta ngi ling, ngarangi linggen rasa, ngarangi tebachi mikchuyachiyagi, zo dichagado asara, tinzi ngi kadduina, ani ngalaya yichichi, ngalaya tebachi ngi kadduina le tang mares, ro, kansi ngi 태버친 비추고 또 팬도치사 율 약슈디 콘주 차고요라스.
So in particular, Geshe's responsibility is to make time to share his understanding with others, in particular those students that have a belief and a trust in Geshe. So Geshe feels that it's his responsibility to share his time and his knowledge with others, specifically about the Mahayana Buddhism. Yeah. So so that makes the other people to be the best object to be sharing Mahayana Buddhism with. That's it.
라 하든도 다 최고톤이 팬톡 투마두디 아니 최생인당 최년이 니깔야 라리거레스. 라 최년이 등원에 아니 대바당 아니 가회톤이 아니 년바당 생인원에 아니 타직도 팬섬당 제비권을라니 아니 최직직 셰바이나 야자야당 뭐 팬도 연구요레스 샘라 팽기요레스라 딘자 아니 다 라마 계정 담바 순다 지기 바이나야 아니 소수고 로마디 개침부 쓰고야디 균전 될 두고레스 로 오늘 라마 기위신인 센덴지나 아니 소수 로마디 아니 지단다 ਸਮਝਾਂ tam lo tam mesi ware de ne di na ni ani sosu gi loma di mix gi zewi kyang go ya ji chago res gan sosu teba chimbi gi chue ji zak yu gu zu di sosu doja de chago war was ra
So, in particular, when we've got a teacher and their students, the students have great conviction and faith, but in the teacher, but from the side of the student, then they need to listen with great joy and great faith. But also from the teacher's side, from the Lahabit side, then if that teacher has a good and correct motivation, then even just one word will be a benefit. Yeah. So we can be certain that his relationship with the listener with strong faith and joy and the teacher with the correct motivation, then even a single word will be of great benefit. So this applies to teachers, great holy beings, and their students that have both qualified from either side. Then, of course, we're not giving up working for the sake of all other sentient beings, but in terms of one's teacher and student relationship, then this is a great responsibility to be a benefit there. Lasuna.
terda ani pena nga zan chue nyang di nga la injimi teba golse goyo singi lag mares lab sing maros ro kezi teba yo baina nge shebi gi chue digi en kerang semle ya yacha yatam ba pingres ro teba mena pen toya pe khagores dan ne da ne marni ya susu semla penya digi chenlab juya shindun khagores ro ani di sanji gi do 다 땡주 참을로 나눠라야 아니 연된 탐지기 시디 대바인 송요레스로 아니 대비 토니 진럽도 연구를 맞아 아니 대바 용사기 람가로디 아니 가서 진럽 용사기 람가디 대바드 메나 진럽든 가르고 요레스 어딜 진짜 가두이나 지 아니 추 나눠라야 대바드 이체고야 송대야디 내가 될 두고 요라스로
So Geshe is not saying that you must have faith in me, but if you do have faith in me, then this would be of benefit. This will be with great benefit, because one who doesn't have any faith, that it's very difficult to receive the blessings and receive benefit from what the teacher is sharing. So they say that the basis of all good qualities in Sutra, Tatra, and all the commentaries, all of them say faith. So if we guys say yeah. So can you hear me? Yep.
The basis of all good qualities in Sutra and Tantra is. That's where we got up to.
Okay. So all the sutra, all the tantra, all the commentaries, it is mentioned that the foundation of all good qualities is faith. Yeah. So without this basis of faith, then the path to the blessings that we may receive, by listening to the teachings would be blocked without this factor of faith. So this is a very important point. That's it.
그러다 이내야 출생인 거니 아니 대바 유메라 맞대봐 출세고 거랬어. 그라 비게 수술라 간나로 마가자로 파 펜도 최고 거랬어. 아니 간주 아니 심진 간다진 바이나야 야와 돌바이나 아니 르땅 바이나 경 ngalarago res kasna ngi theba chimbi kyugi nyamlendi lagro res ro ngi michik le tambayna ngi gyugi ani chanju sembi domba lagro res ro michik le tambayna bu chongmaji ani yawa torbayna ani noyadi ngal nyugo res ngi ani sozer domba lang yore chanju sembi domba lang yore sanga ga domba lang yowanza ngala ya domba yowanza ngi domba di chola res 어디래 인생 아주 태버 침비고 취해 증인 진바나 태버 침비고 취해 증인 진바나 아니 수수교라 가리여래 아니 깜주 동바 요레스 잔주쌤이 동바 요레스 드소 송교 지야디 수수경레스 다 드소 송교 지야디 야 군절라 대바치바다 마슴전라 미비 인지 공에 디니디 아니 태버 침비고 취해 냠는 기타 아니 소디레스로 소디레스
So from the teacher's side, regardless if others or if the students have faith or not, it is important that the teacher shares what they know. So if they don't have faith or if they do, it doesn't matter to the teacher themselves, because if the teacher doesn't share what they know to even to one person that doesn't share to one person, then that is the teacher's loss. And particular in terms of the teacher having taken the body's heaven vow. So even having taken the body's heaven vow, if that person doesn't help or benefit even as tiny ant, then there will be a loss of that body's heaven vow. So Geshe himself has taken the monastic vow, he's taken the bodhisattva vow, and he's taken the tantric vow. So even if he just gives up one sentient being, then these vows will be spoiled. So in terms of the Mahayana Buddhism, then Geshe has taken refuge in the Buddha Dharma Sangha, and also has a vow of the bodhisattva vow. So it is really in our hand to be responsible for looking after those vows, protecting those vows. And the very essence of the Mahayana practice is to see whole sentient beings as being your kind mother, and practicing and benefiting them is the main point of the Mahayana practice. That's all.
terpena nganzuda domba ramba thambodi kyamdu domba derwas kyamdu domba lanswi jela labja khar songo gres ladi shen simjala netse chiwa panggo gres ra simjala netse chiwa pangbadi kyamdu labja zo cha gres tinza nganzuda namba sangi wi tele subaina kyamdu domba go gres ani kyamdu domba yona kyamdu domba di ani 가서 다치 소수기 송교 제약이 잘라야 다 개체슈디 소수기기 domba 차고 그래서 다 domba 송교 제약이 아니 셴라 너제 빠인드레스 셴라 너제디 르가 익성 그거니 아니 너제 용거를 르고니 너제 빠야 베나 소체바 마침바 무슨 나 소바다 아니 나기 거니 아니 준다 직접다 아니 딘디라 소바 아니 이거니 드니 나섬 소바 다 Panyadi and Camdru Habjag so this Shagores.
So, for example, having taken the refuge vow, then the main advice given at the time of taking the refuge vows is to abandon harming others. So this is the main advice, to give up or abandon harming others, but to benefit them. So being a Buddhist, if we have this refuge vow, then we can consider it as being our most prized possession. Yeah. So amongst all our possessions, this refuge vow is our most important or prized possession. So, and by having our refuge vow, we strive to not harm others in terms of our body, speech, and mind. And we do that by looking at the 10 non-virtuous actions and refraining from those 10 non-virtuous actions. We refrain from the 3 physical, refraining from killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, and we refrain from the 3 verbal, lying, divisive speech, and harsh words. And then finally, we refrain from the 4. I think the speech was 4, yeah, and then the 3 is the mental is the last 3, coveting what other people have, taking pleasure about other misfortunes, and wrong views. So these are the main ways of refraining from harming others when we've taken the refuge vow. So we've got the 3 from the physical, the 4 from the verbal, and the 3 from the mental non-virtues. That's all.
Adini yang keshishu chigla kariyarisa anzu da nangchu chiyondi nangchu ki pida ani chig tobja tarduwa di sangi kombandares. Ra anzu ani top goya ki tobja tarduwa di ani sangi kombandares. Da sangi komban tobi ki tab chogdu ki wajora tab med moro wajora di ninji dang ani chanjugu sem sherabdi da ninji ki zawa chibi chanjugu sem da sherabdi res da ninji di simjin la mebi ninji di res chogri mebi ninji di ro simjin chignyang pe da musin chunjo ni ani yawa matorwa ani di dunga dana chimarong nyambi ani zawa di chambi zawa di chambi da di cherdu di dunga li trubi cherdu ani ngi zobe sanji ki kombo toba chawu nyambi ani chanjugu sem dedang ani dame wa onsum tobi ishi nimbu di ani sanji kombo tobi ki da tab medumoro di chago res.
So what is the most important here? The object of attainment is that of us achieving the perfect state of enlightenment, the state of Buddhahood. This is the most important thing that we need to obtain. Yeah. So in order to attain that, the perfect state of enlightenment, then we need to practice this method and we need to practice wisdom. Yeah. So this method that is really indispensable of compassion, bodhicitta, and the wisdom realizing emptiness. So in terms of compassion, we regard all sentient beings and from suffering. So not even
regarding compassion.
Yeah. So regarding compassion, we regard all sentient beings without any bias to be free from suffering. This is our wish. This is the essence of compassion. So, and in order to free all sentient beings from suffering, we wish to attain complete and perfect Buddhahood. So then also on that basis, we develop the wisdom that is realizing selflessness directly. So you can see that this method is something that is really indispensable. That's all.
Di yimba di ra sanji kongpan tobi ki tab med morwa di 아니 인지 자와집이 잔주 삼당 동반이 온선도 이시 임바디 산지 거란 그 송여라서 산지 공부 톱 영예디 수르스는 산지 작어라 안다 간주다 미나는 아니 펜션지 램바이나 다 자와르무치 따버리스 그 콘주기 다 산지 공부 톱 열에 탑 가을 땡고 여바디 콘주 저지기 다 킹기 걸어서 디 콘주 뒤딱도 디고 그래서 송고 여반자 간주 탁 째니 디마도 여마르스 랍투 그랬어 로
So this indispensable method to achieve Buddhahood or complete enlightenment is this mind of bodhicitta, or the mind of enlightenment. Yeah. So the Buddha and wisdom, generating wisdom. So the Buddha himself said that this is the method to achieve enlightenment. So you can see that the possibility of achieving complete Buddhahood is actually, their methods are there. So you can also take, for example, His Holiness the Dalai Lama as somebody who has achieved perfect state of enlightenment and then shares the methods in order for us to do so. And we can see the possibility, we can be decided that there is that possibility of achieving perfect state of enlightenment. And the Buddha himself and His Holiness the Dalai Lama share those methods with us. Let's learn.
다들 진짜 당한주 benangada 다기 아니지 섬전 탐지를 미비로 수수기 가사 독사 아니지 아니 참을로 미비 제로기야디 깔카고 베여로 깔카고 베여레스 이나야 다 깔카고 디 아니 레 토르와 팀 레하고 용야게 탑디 소바렌도스 소바고야디 소바고야데레스 다 소바곰 슬라원디게 아니 소소라야 뇌시 간르질레와이나야 뇌시 디기 아니 소수기 샘 만트와지야 아니 뇌시 디왕기 람산 소수 샘디 콘트리 샤원드 마큐와치 엔 chen 데투바이나 디 소바레스 로 소바슬라디 경케야로지 아니 골라 베 티슈와이나 아니 믹좀 되고래 디디케지 마레스 야원 가든 송고다스 아니 소바싱이 가스나 소술에 뇌시 질려바나 뇌시 디왕기 람산 소수 샘디 콘트리 샤원드 마큐르나 디 소바레스 로 디여바나 아니 샘 콘트리 샤원드 마큐르나 아니 로스르부 셰르기 따투게 진고 디따투바나 닌지디 로스르부 닝이 가사조 닌지께 레라고 베차고 그랬어.
So if you take somebody like myself, such as Geshe, then the focusing my love on all sentient beings is actually something that is very difficult. I find difficult to do in practice, yeah. But there's a very easy method that we can utilize in order to cultivate. And that easy method is the practice of patience. The practice of patience. The easy method is the practice of patience. Yeah. So this practice of patience, whatever situation that we may find ourselves in, we're experiencing suffering, or another person is giving us suffering or harming us, then regardless of the situation, if we do not let anger take control, then that is the practice of patience. So His Holiness the Dalai Lama says that it's not just about closing our eyes and waiting for the situation to go away, but the practice of patience is that in the face of adversity, of somebody harming us, creating a difficult situation, that we do not allow to immediately give rise to anger, then that is the practice of patience. And then this gives us room to use our wisdom, our discrimination, and to see the situation using our compassionate mind. And it becomes a lot easier to generate a compassionate thought. Let's
랭아줄로 아니 가서 수순 남주디 라 수순 남주 여바이나 아니 피기 뇌셰디 오만나 콘트리 왕게 레고레 오만나 더샤게 왕게 레고레 디면나 때무게 왕게 레고레 마도 아니 지 더샤 셰당 아니 때무로 소바 가야 명의 강사지기 멜네기시 마레스 멜네기시 마레스 틴자 남주 영의 강사 때문에 야코 뉴몬비 온더 손에 자와디 치기도 고 닌제 삼비 삼로디 야차 야타마 레고라서라.
So if we use our intelligence, then we can see very easily that the person that is doing harm to us, it is due to either anger, due to ignorance, or due to their desire. So any person that is causing us suffering or harm is necessarily motivated or under the control of anger, attachment, or ignorance. So there is no one that is harming us or giving us suffering that is not under the influence of these afflictive emotions. So then by seeing this, we can for sure, we can feel convinced that we can generate compassion for the other person, the person giving you harm. Lazula.
데르디 다 개체슈 데르다라 먼저 메즈나 개체슈 디테레 아니 야오르무치 가드는 순고라스라 야오르무치 가드는 순고 다 텐산 야오르무치 페시 돈다다와 아니 자동이 취는 거레스 취 가드 손나야 닌지 잔주그셈 돈이 더비로티 가드는 순고레스 디 아니 밀송마세 니마다와 야오르무치 페시 추츠 싱아 공구예스 님마 딱보 공부에 선거도 하서라. 그래서 나란서 다가란 뒤치야다. 라 년지 공야리 전주쌤 공야리 또머니 또로 공야리 안 디치 아니 공야고 자마드나 안 디 공야고 용야게 쳐도 산지치 견달이야 소왔다야리 아니 가주 툭툭지게 아니 소보검 아니 년지 따야 개지 년지 끼마드나 만년돼야 자리슬에 소왔다는 만년돼야 두 다티 님마 딱바 치는 줘야래샤스라
So this is really something that's very important. So His Holiness the Dalai Lama, for example, is teaching regularly, even on a daily basis. And his teaching is always about the topics of compassion, bodhicitta, and wisdom, realizing selflessness. So His Holiness the Dalai Lama himself says that he meditates 4 to 5 hours every day. Yeah. And each day he meditates on compassion, bodhicitta, and the wisdom realizing selflessness. And likewise, we can do this. We can meditate on compassion, bodhicitta, and wisdom. And we can also we can supplicate the 3 jewels, the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. So then in order to cultivate our practice of patience, and we can cultivate our mind of compassion. So, but if we're not able to meditate, then we can recite the Mani mantra. We can visualize Avalokiteshvara, and we can recite the Mani mantra, and we can do this on a daily basis. Let's hola.
딘디기 아니 삼바야부티 조수를 기약체도 가두이나야 sabsabchinan royati ra pena mirikchi mela khatayala pe gawayaros an dindi nyamdu mandro an mani ani mi yendin jogya bana tizo nye 디기 소소레 팽그레스 로 간주 레 탐보라 나다 나다기 미지기 깬 통와이나 아니 미텔 제위기 제와 라야기 냥가쇼도스로 and the metal meon that tundro simjen kandajilaya zewa lawayna inji lawayna neyad sosul legoras sosu gele chanju sembe domba yore sanga go domba yore and dele nyebe koyun gorasra dinza ani kyengri mani ani yenden jugu yobana dinya bayna ani pigi ani sochati 이동한 통거리 이동한 가준 통화 뒤쪽에 콜라미비 인지기그래 인지기바나 소수고 초사고래 산지 컴포터웨래 타니르고래 디차고라스라
So if we think well, then we must proceed with caution. We must actually go very carefully, because people have a tendency to listen to others, denigrating others, speaking badly about others. So we try to avoid listening and participating in these types of activities, but we try to listen to and participate with people that praise others, that speak of others with good about their good qualities and so forth. Whereas if we mingle with those that have focused on the negative and speak in terms of the negative, then there will be a danger of losing our love and compassion for others. And there'll be a danger for losing our love and compassion to animals and so forth also. So since we have these refuge vows, bodhisattva vows, tantric vows, and so on, then on this basis, we can continue to cultivate our feeling of love and compassion. And then on this basis, we'll be becoming closer and closer to Buddhahood. That's all.
kapkala ngam kale peyor da nyamnen di kale khawshu shiyabanza sanji ani za chembushu tsigoya di 산지 토비알 예순도 깔래 가고 여반사 자침을 차고라서 가지고 가주 그 렌탄 채워 여바이나 디 관번도였어 잠블리 나와야 근슈도 뇽슈도 렌탄 첨부 차고라서 디 산지 쪽 견된데 렌탄 첨부 차야 아니 자침부 차야디 디 드비알이야 디 토비알이야 신도는 깔래 가고 연사 자침부 차고라서
So we can think that sometimes we think that it's actually very difficult to obtain this state of complete enlightenment or Buddhahood, yeah. But we can, because it is very difficult to obtain, we can actually regard the attainment of that as being something precious. So because it is very difficult and very rare to attain this, then its value is great. Yeah, we consider it as very precious. That's all.
Sorry. 인자 가르깔레 가고요는 텔이야 아니 깔레 잡토바나 점리 침부터 부여서레스. 소보공야라 깔레 가고요는 배준 chen 소보공야 탑시지. 인지 공야라야 깔레 가고요는 배준 chen 슈 갸르니라. 아니 인지 공야 탑시 딘리지바나 아니 점리 배 침부터 부여레스.
So because they are very difficult to obtain, and especially if we think of practicing patience, this is very difficult to perfect. So we have to make the effort. Yeah. Likewise, compassion of bodhicitta is very difficult to achieve. So we have to make effort in order to achieve that. That's all.
도전아, thank you.
Final Lamrim dedication. From my two types of merits pass a space that I have amassed from working with effort at this practice for a grand length of time. May I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds' wisdom eye is blinded by ignorance. Even if I do not reach this state, may I be held in your loving compassion for all life's Manjushri. May I find the best of complete graded paths of the teachings, and may I please all the Buddhas by my practice. Using skillful means drawn by the strong force of compassion, may I clear the darkness from the minds of all beings with the points of the path as I have discerned them. May I uphold the Buddha's teachings for a very long time, with my heart going out with great compassion in whatever direction the most precious teachings have not yet spread or once spread have declined. May I reveal this treasure of happiness and aid. May the minds of those who wish for liberation be granted boundless peace, and the Buddha's deeds be nourished for a long time. By even this graded path to enlightenment completed, due to the wondrous virtuous conduct of the Buddhas and their sons. May all human and non-human beings who eliminate adversity and create conducive conditions for practicing the excellent paths never be parted in any of their lives from the purest path praised by the Buddhas. Whenever someone makes effort to act in accordance with the tenfold Mahayana virtues practices, may he always be assisted by the mighty ones, and may oceans of prosperity spread everywhere. Thank you.